Today we are live at Sally Kate Winters Family Services here in West Point. We're celebrating those inspiring stories that make a real difference in the children's lives that find themselves here. You can support Sally Kate Winters and all the work that they're doing by texting SuperTalk 25 to 91999 to donate. Also, shout out to Access Health Mobile Unit. It is on site with us today. They have a mobile unit with them and can provide services today, and they also have goodies. So if you're in town, come by and say hi. But we're going to continue the conversation about all the good that's going on here with Miss Natalie White. She's the clinical program coordinator here at Sally Kate Winters Family Services and up to good on a daily basis. So hi, Natalie.
Hello.
It's good to have you here, and it's good to be able to talk about all the good things that are going on, even though it's such a tough topic to sort of cover. But if we don't talk about it, then, I think things don't change. So on a daily basis, as the clinical program coordinator, kind of, what do you tell people? What's your elevator speech of what you do here on a daily basis? She's like, how much time do you have?
I know, right? Well, I am the supervisor for the runaway and homeless youth programs. And though we have two programs here, our first program is the Basic Center program, which children that are runaway, at risk, or having a lot of issues at home, ages 12 to 17, can come into that program. And then we have a kind of a level up program, transitional living program, and that program is for individuals ages 16 to 21, and they can be in that program up to 18 months. And with that program, we teach a lot of independent living skills, also addressing mental health issues that they may have, and then just really teaching them ways to have a more sufficient life, to be independent on their own, regardless of the circumstances that they have gone through.
That one hurts, Natalie, because I have a 12-year-old, right? And when you find, you don't know the circumstances in which would get a child to that point to where they would want to leave their home or their family situation. And to think that they might not have anywhere to go to would be really frightening, I would think, as a caregiver. Is that where they stay overnight? Is that a program where they have somewhere to stay, or is that a program that kind of gets them back home and then works with them after they've, decided to leave home?
Yes, great question. Well, both programs, that's kind of really the main point of the program is, regardless of the situation, we are also still trying to bridge the gap that have brought them into our programs. For example, the 12 to 17-year-old program, they may need family therapy. They may need someone coming into the home to help them. And so what we kind of like, not, I'll say a Band-Aid, but we kind of come into the home, work really fast to kind of see what the issues are, because the main goal is being permanent with your family, not to be away from your family. And there are times we are successful in that. I definitely think we are always successful, but we're successful in them going into their original home. And then there are times where we may have to get more support, social supports, where they may be with a grandparent or a family friend that will actually still help support that family. With the older program, the older youth in the program, again, with those, they may be living here, but we also still encourage family counseling, family support, having their family or identified parent come and visit them at times when it's appropriate. So we still are trying to make sure, in the safest way possible, to try to make sure they maintain some support and some type of relationship with a family member.
So this isn't a cookie cutter program in that respect. That has to be a very individualized dig back the onion, the layers of the onion sort of to it to figure out which each individual case needs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's great that you bring that up, because there has been times where, with our transitional living programs, where the young adults have tried to reach out to their families or their parent or grandparent or mother or father, and it did not work out, not because the youth did not want it, it's because the parent just may not be in the best placed in their life to be able to have that type of support. So we're there on the back end trying to help that individual still continue to grow, to be self-sufficient, but then also deal with the realities of their parent not being able to care for them in the way that they may want.
Imagining where they might would end up if they didn't have that sounding board or sort of that respite place, which is here at Sally Kate, during that time, because I can't imagine what that rejection from your family would feel like if a young person wanted to, reconnect or whatever it may be. How do they find you? Because I'm sitting here thinking again, if my 12-year-old ran away, she wouldn't know to go somewhere. She wouldn't necessarily know how to get to somewhere that would be a safe place or a safe haven. So how do you connect with the at-risk runaways or those that have chosen to leave their home for whatever reason that's at that age?
Yeah, sure. What we do is one of the biggest things with Sally Kate Winners, we are really big on outreach. We go throughout the year with both of the programs, so really I would say all of the programs that we have here, educating. Education is key, awareness is key. And so we go into the school systems and talk to all of the youth, principals, administration about the programs that we have here. And then also, too, we are a national safe place site. And you probably have seen them around the Golden Triangle area, but we actually are an agency that can set up different safe place sites and educate them on when kids are running away or having problems. And some of those places may be fire departments and maybe Boys and Girls Club or your local library. So that is Sally Kate Winter setting up those places in the different near surrounding counties that we have here. So education is really big. We go into churches, we go, again, schools, we go into different agencies. Anyone that would open their doors, we are willing to come in and educate on the programs that we have here to help support the children. And believe it or not, a lot of the youth know about our programs more so than some of the adults.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that means you're doing your job. And, two, it's the kids that need to know it, especially if they're the ones that find themselves making that tough decision to, leave. I mean, again, you can't make assumptions about a young person who decides they can make it on their own and then figure it out. They still need the help and sort of the guidance, and it sounds like Sally Kate is being able to do that. Natalie, share some of the success stories, because that's heavy, right? Like just the fact that, a 12 or 14-year-old would leave home. Your 17, 18-year-olds, it's a little bit more understandable. Are there the reconciliations? Are there the restoring them back to their family with the appropriate programs? Can it happen?
Yes, definitely it can happen. I would say definitely just kind of one of the programs that stick out to me, one of the youth and programs that stick out to me is a 15-year-old male that we had in our basic center program. Mom was having a lot of issues with housing, trying to find a job, trying to make ends meet, was a really good parent, but based on her financial situation, she could not maintain housing, ended up homeless, but found a way to keep her child in school every day.
Oh,
and so in school, he was doing well, but of course, what we did, we came into the home to talk with them about him coming into services. Well, that was really hard for Mom, because Mom was like, I want my child out. Is this a CPS situation?
Right.
And what we were doing was trying to prevent more problems for Mom. And so he came into our program for 21 days. We linked Mom with a lot of resources here in the area for Mom to get adequate housing, and then a bed for her bedroom and a bed for his bedroom while he continued to go to school every day. So Mom was able to handle a lot of the things as opposed to trying to worry about him at school and worry about how he was going to cope. And when he got ready to leave, he wanted to come and stay another 21 days because he was like, maybe Mom needs a little bit more time to get the apartment together. Yeah. But even through that, it's such a great story because Mom came in talking about how much this was such a help for her, had never had counseling or anything like that before. And we provided counseling for her and him together. So they are doing so much better now, still doing well. And that's the stories that you kind of, keep close to your heart.
Well, also you need to remember it's not always a traumatic situation. I mean, it is like in that scenario where the parent is sometimes it's just hard times, and that parent needs the right programming and the right help to sort of get their family moving back in that, sort of right direction, because it sounded like she was trying, right? And she just needed that moment to breathe and be pointed in the right direction. So when folks take the opportunity to, text SuperTalk 25 to 91999 to help donate and support Sally Kate, they're supporting success stories like that and beyond.
Yes, definitely.
So how important is it that we help support what you guys are doing here? Because it's all overwhelming to me, Natalie. So I feel like, gosh, I wouldn't even know where to start, but I can at least be part of the process by helping to support in that way.
I definitely would say such a great support because, again, I think we have the misconception that they're not homeless individuals, especially in the state of Mississippi, and that's so untrue, especially with our older youth. Again, it's so cliche to think that that they have the funds, they have the money, they have the parent that's going to do all the things, the basic needs for them. But when they come to us, they don't have the money, they don't have a job. You have an 18 or 19-year-old that don't even know how to start life on their own. And just like you said with the success stories, we just had a youth this year at Mississippi State graduate with 2 degrees from vet school, but she was a runaway. And we kind of helped and provided some of the things to help her for graduation and preparing her for her next level in
Natalie,
life.
that makes my heart happy. You guys stick with us. We'll hear more good stories like that coming up next.